I was looking at houses in the French region of Dordogne, and I didn't expect the difference between 50,000 euros and 200,000 euros to be this interesting. This place feels like it should be expensive, but the market tells a different story. Today I want to look at what those two budgets actually get you. So let's zoom in. France, Southwest, the Périgord heartland, river valleys, bastide towns, truffle markets, and a pace of life that feels like someone turned the volume down on the world. And the game here is simple. We're judging life for this money, not just square meters. We're talking light, air, land, access, and whether you can actually move in. No major renovations. Solid properties you can genuinely live in as described. And we're starting at the bottom of the price ladder with something that'll make the 200,000 euro crowd nervous because property number one comes in at just 57,000 euros. And before you say, what could you possibly get in France for that? Let's talk about Sanjenei, a village in the Black Périgord with honey-colored stone buildings, a Romanesque chapel, and the kind of unhurried atmosphere that makes first-time visitors slow their car down involuntarily. And for 57,000 euros, that's around $65,000, you're getting a 33 square meter studio. That's roughly 355 square feet. On the first floor of a small residence, open kitchen, bright bedroom area, shower room with WC, and here's where it flips on you. The grounds of the residence cover approximately 2 hectares and include a swimming pool, a tennis court, and a barbecue area. Communal, yes, but you're paying 57,000 euros, and you have access to a pool and tennis court in the Dordogne, which means this is an investor's dream or a perfect pied-à-terre for someone who wants a foot in France without the weight of a full property commitment. And according to the listing, it's described as move-in ready, so we're not talking about a project. We're talking about a place you can actually move into, and yes, at 57,000 euros, the studio is compact. That's the honest truth. But the best part is you're buying into a lifestyle at a price that most people spend on a car, and if you're thinking, okay, but what does 200,000 euros get me in the same region? Hold on. Because that comparison is coming, and it's going to change the way you think about value entirely. But first, let's take a breath and look at the Dordogne for a second, because this is a region with over 1,000 châteaux, rivers you can canoe down in the summer, markets that smell like garlic and fresh bread, and an international airport in Bergerac that connects you to the UK and beyond, which means you're not disappearing off the map, you're choosing a better version of it, and now property number 2 enters the picture, and the leader changes immediately, because for 200,000 euros, around $229,000, we're heading to Lalinde, a classic bastide town built in the 13th century right on the banks of the Dordogne River, the kind of place where the weekly market takes over the main square and the river path becomes your evening routine. And what you're getting here is a 1970s single-story house on a 1,023 square meter plot, with planning permission already in place, 5 bedrooms across 2 levels, 2 separate fitted kitchens, 2 living rooms including one with a terrace balcony, 2 shower rooms, a jacuzzi relaxation area, and a cottage in the grounds that's currently used for storage but has obvious potential. The gate is automated, the location puts you within walking distance of shops, schools, supermarkets, pharmacies, and the river itself. And according to the listing, this is described as a property that could function as 2 independent dwellings or 1 large family home, depending on your needs. So we're talking flexibility that most people in London or Paris would pay triple for, no major renovations implied. This is a solid property that you can actually move into and start living. And the best part is that planning permission on a plot this size in a river town like Lalinde is not something you stumble into every day. Listings move fast and prices reflect the moment of selection, so this one is worth paying attention to, but don't go anywhere because property number 3 is where things start to get genuinely interesting. And I want you to stay with me because the next one has a twist. We're going to Vanges now, a small rural commune in the western Dordogne close to Riverside, sitting in open agricultural countryside where the sky feels wider and the pace of life drops another gear. Still 200,000 euros. But the comparison to what 200,000 euros buys in a crowded city starts to feel almost insulting, because here you're looking at a traditional French longère farmhouse on approximately 3 acres, with a very large barn at 104 square meters, that's around 1,120 square feet, a studio workshop, and a garage, 3 bedrooms, plus a study that could easily serve as a 4th, 1 bathroom, 1 shower room, a kitchen dining living room, and a very large lounge at 25 square meters, about 269 square feet, with French windows that open directly onto a first-floor covered terrace with panoramic views and sunsets that the listing describes as stunning all round. The roofs were fully renewed in 2023. The electrics have been updated throughout most of the house. There's an oil central heating system described as very effective. Fiber optic Wi-Fi is connected. And outside you have a vegetable garden, an orchard with plum, cherry, fig, walnut, quince, apple, kaki, and peach trees. A well with a pump and storage tank, and a very long roof described as suitable for photovoltaic and solar panels, with government grants reportedly available to residents for solar and heating upgrades. The barn alone at 104 square meters, over 1,100 square feet, could be converted into a separate large house with the right permissions, and the property sits on its own within walking distance of 2 hamlets and the small town of Vanges, which has a bakery, post office, cafe bar, and primary school, with the larger town of Riverside just 10 minutes away. And the road alongside is described as a single track with roughly 1 car per hour of traffic, which in 2025 is actually a selling point. And the best part is that this is described as suited to equestrian purposes or self-sufficient living. No chemicals on the land for 6 years. This is the property that makes you stop scrolling and start actually thinking. And now here's a quick breath of Dordogne air between listings, because the region averages around 2,000 hours of sunshine per year. The summers are warm and long, and the winters are mild enough that this doesn't feel like a sacrifice. Expat communities here are well established. There are English-speaking services, and the whole thing operates on a pace of life that people in gray northern cities pay therapists to help them imagine. And now property number 4 is where the mid-video twist hits, and the argument genuinely flips, because we've been saying 200,000 euros buys you a lot, but property 4 takes us to Vergt, a quiet village in the Dordogne Valley surrounded by meadows and sunflower fields, close enough to Riverside for everyday convenience, but far enough away to feel like the countryside actually belongs to you. And this one takes a lot and upgrades it too. Are you serious, me? Because for 200,000 euros, you're getting 157 square meters of living space. That's approximately 1,690 square feet across 2 separate houses on a fully fenced plot of almost 1 hectare. The first house is approximately 56 square meters, around 603 square feet, with kitchen, living room, bedroom, and shower room. The second dwelling has 3 bedrooms, a study, a large lounge at 30 square meters, roughly 323 square feet, a kitchen with garden views, and 2 shower rooms. And outside, this is where it stops being a house and starts being a life. There's a pool house, a summer kitchen, a well, a spa, and a 10 by 4 meter heated saltwater swimming pool with a liner, described as in very good condition. There's a fully fenced shed with water and electricity that's described as perfect for animals. Fiber broadband is connected, and the environment is described in the listing as very quiet with superb panoramic views while still being close to all services in Bergerac. And this is the moment where the comparison to urban real estate becomes genuinely uncomfortable, because in most major European cities, 200,000 euros doesn't get you a 1-bedroom apartment without issues. And here it's getting you 2 houses, a salt pool, a spa, a hectare of fenced land, and a summer kitchen. And it's partially double glazed with gas and wood stove heating. So the best part is this works as a family home, a seasonal rental project, or both simultaneously. And if you're still watching, and you should be, because the last 2 properties are the strongest ones in this entire rundown, let's keep moving, because property 5 changes the mood entirely and proves that 200,000 euros in the Dordogne doesn't only buy you countryside. We're going to Bergerac now, a genuine river city straddling the Dordogne with a medieval old town of cobbled lanes, half-timbered facades, and wine culture so deep it has its own appellation. The kind of place where you can walk from a 17th century courtyard to a Riverside cafe terrace in under 5 minutes, and for 200,000 euros you're getting a 17th century stone house, described as magnificently restored with noble materials, across 165 square meters. That's just under 1,776 square feet. On 3 levels, ground floor has a living room of 44 square meters, about 474 square feet, fully equipped with a Bocuse piano range, American fridge, and dishwasher, plus a garage or laundry room. First floor has a large living room with fireplace, a bedroom and bathroom, and the upper floor has 2 more bedrooms and another bathroom, double glazing throughout, a new condensing boiler, and mains drainage. And this is described as a rare property in a heritage location. It's not a museum, it's real life. 17th century stone walls and a Bocuse piano in the kitchen, 3 floors, move-in condition according to the listing. Always check documents and fees, but this is the kind of property that people spend decades looking for. And the best part is that you're in the center of Bergerac, walking distance to the river, the restaurants, the market, the airport is practically on the edge of town. And this is the urban Dordogne argument made in stone and timber. The property that makes people who thought they wanted countryside suddenly reconsider. And now a quick pattern interrupt because Bergerac Airport actually matters here. Direct flights to London, Birmingham, and other UK cities. It's small enough that check-in takes 15 minutes and large enough to get you home when you need to. And that access is one of the quiet reasons the Dordogne keeps attracting buyers who could technically live anywhere. And now we're approaching the final 2, and I want you to stay right here because these are the ones that break expectations. Property 6 takes us to Saint-Saul-la-Coussière in the Green Périgord to the north, a deeply rural corner of the Dordogne where the forests are thick, the hamlets are small, and the stone architecture feels like it grew out of the ground naturally. And for 200,000 euros, we're looking at a traditional stone property in a peaceful hamlet with barn, stables, land, and a garden with fruit trees. Ground floor has a kitchen diner and a room currently used as a bedroom that could easily become a sitting room, bathroom with shower, sink, and toilet. Upstairs there are 2 generously sized bedrooms and a 3rd smaller room described as ideal for a home office or child's bedroom. Outside there's a beautiful terrace described as perfect for al fresco dining, a large garden with fruit trees, space to install a pool subject to permissions, stables with conversion potential subject to permissions, and an attached barn for storage or development. The listing describes the house as perfectly livable, with the layout described as flexible, and a future owner may wish to personalize it, which is the honest way of saying light cosmetic work is possible, but there are no major renovations required to move in. And the best part is the stables and barn combination gives this property a genuine second chapter. It's a home now and a project when you're ready. And it's just a short drive from a lively French village with bars, restaurants, and everyday amenities. Ideal for someone choosing between quiet and connected and wanting a bit of both. And if you want more finds like this, subscribe because the next region we cover is even more surprising. But right now we have one more property, and it is genuinely the reason you should not have clicked away. Property 7 is in Sanjenei, a commune tucked into the northeastern edge of the Dordogne, where the landscape opens into a patchwork of fields, woods, and small lakes, the kind of setting where the silence at night is so complete it takes a few days to get used to. And for 200,000 euros, this single-story home comes with its own lake, its own paddock, and its own woodland, 3 bedrooms, with 2 of them having patio doors opening directly onto the garden, 2 bathrooms, a newly fitted kitchen opening into an open-plan living and dining room with space described as ideal for a home office, and outside a southeast-facing terrace overlooking the garden and paddock, a well, a large hangar for storage or a workshop, open grounds leading to the lake and woodland, and the energy setup is genuinely modern. Solar-powered hot water system, pellet burner, electric underfloor heating in the kitchen, double glazing throughout, and 3 reversible air conditioning and heating units. And the best part is this doesn't feel like a compromise in any direction. It's described as an attractive, manageable property with modern comforts in a quiet rural setting. And the lake and woodland aren't just pretty, they're private. They're yours, and they make the comparison to what 200,000 euros buys almost anywhere else feel like a genuinely different conversation. And so here's where we land. The 57,000 euro studio in Sanjenei is the entry point, the proof that even a small budget gets you into this region with a pool and a tennis court on the grounds. But the 200,000 euro bracket is where the Dordogne really starts performing. Lalinde wins for town life and river access. The Vanges farmhouse wins for land and self-sufficiency. Vergt takes the crown for pure value density with 2 houses and a salt pool. The Bergerac stone house wins for urban charm and historic character. Sanjenei is the one for the renovator who wants a long-term project with stables and potential. And Champnier et Rehac, with the lake, the woodland, the paddock, and the modern energy systems, is the most turnkey countryside lifestyle of the entire list. Solid properties, all of them described as ready to live in or close to it, no major renovations implied across the board. And the question I want you to answer in the comments is this. If 200,000 euros is the budget, which one do you actually pick? The 17th century townhouse in Bergerac, the 2-house compound with the salt pool in Vergt, or the one with its own lake in Sanjenei? Because that answer says a lot about who you are. And I genuinely want to know,